If you want to start a magazine in 2026 and not just talk about it, but actually launch it and grow it, then this video is going to be your step-by-step guide to making that happen in 2026. Most of the videos out there on starting a magazine are 5, 10, even 12 years old. But the industry has completely changed. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to start a magazine in 2026 in the way that it works now. Now, I've started multiple magazines, consulted on others, built a readership in the millions, launched digital and print issues, and I teach my students how to do all of this inside of the Editor Academy, so this isn't just theory. This is the real roadmap from someone who's done it before. So if you guys are new here, my name is Kate and I am the founder and editor-in-chief of 2 successful magazines, and I help creators, writers, photographers, and entrepreneurs start their own magazines from scratch. So whether you want to start a digital magazine, a print magazine, or both, this video will give you the foundation that you need to get going. So the first step in starting a magazine in 2026 is to decide what your magazine will be, not just the niche. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make when setting out to start a magazine, because while you think you have the niche down, will you have enough content to fill an entire magazine every month, every quarter, whatever your publishing schedule might be? So for example, I might have the idea to start a travel magazine, which is great, but what will the magazine include? Can I come up with content on a variety of topics inside that niche over and over again? You need to begin with clarity or you will very quickly burn out, get overwhelmed, feel disappointed, and start to compare yourself to other magazines that are killing it in similar niches. And then guess what? Your magazine idea fizzles out. You need to talk through who the magazine is for, what problem the magazine solves or the experience that it gives, and why the magazine needs to exist. When I started my first magazine, Mini, I set out to fill a gap in the market that was very obvious after the closing of a popular parenting magazine. When I started my second magazine, Tool, I set out to create a magazine that featured fine art wedding photography that was inspiring me as I planned my own wedding. Not the standard generic wedding tips magazine for planning, but rather a magazine full of beautiful, oftentimes film wedding photography with incredible details that fueled my own wedding planning in a different way. I knew what I wanted both magazines to be, not just their niches, before I took any further steps into bringing them to life. And remember, your magazine doesn't have to be for everybody. In fact, the more specific that it is, the better it will likely perform. So in 2026, it's not enough to just know the type of magazine you want to start. You need to get hyper specific about what the magazine will be, what the magazine will include, and why. So that leads me into step 2, which is choosing your magazine format. And this is where 2026 is different from even just a couple of years ago. Years ago, print was dying, and some people might still say that. Digital was the only way, and if you still subscribed to print media, you were basically a dinosaur. And as someone who has run exclusively digital magazines for over a decade, I might have agreed with you. But magazines are now circling back to print, and I'll tell you why. I just launched one of my own magazines in print, and I can tell you, print is absolutely not dead. It's just more intentional now. Even Vogue has recently announced that they are moving to a model that publishes fewer, more premium issues. According to Vogue Business, readers are now embracing thick, nicely finished issues that double as collector's items or coffee table books. Readers now want something that they can keep, something that feels substantial and special, and you'll see this with other magazines venturing into print, like The Cut, which just launched their first ever solo print issue last year, and Outlander magazine that just launched their first ever print magazine with a cover featuring Justin Bieber. So there are 3 types of magazine formats that you can choose in 2026. You can take a digital first approach, with an interactive flipbook style magazine that your readers can actually click through. You can launch a print magazine, maybe with a limited run or premium issues like we just talked about. Or you can take a hybrid approach and offer both digital and print to your readers. I would say most successful magazines start with digital and then layer in print and not the other way around. Start to build your digital presence, your audience, and your content, and then work your way up to your print debut. That's one of the things I am very happy that I did when I launched my own print magazine this year was that I took the time to build up my readership, listen to what my audience wanted, which was a print edition, and then make the move into print. So, the third step in starting a magazine in 2026 is to plan your first issue, not the entire magazine. When you're just starting out, you don't need a whole 5 year plan. You just need to focus on launching one solid first issue. If you've seen The Devil Wears Prada, you know that the editor in chief, Miranda Priestley, has the book. It's where she plans the entire issue. It has notes, it has sketches. Anything that's going into that issue is held inside the book. So I do something similar when I'm planning my magazine issues. I used to keep a physical notebook and actually write out every issue's content plan, but now I use a spreadsheet to plan the issues, and I actually give you that exact spreadsheet inside the Editor Academy. It really just helps keep everything organized and helps you put together a strong issue that gives your readers the best possible impression of your magazine. Your issue should feel cohesive and well thought out, and it should match your brand ethos, like I mentioned back in step one. So, when you're planning out your first issue of your magazine, you'll want to decide if there will be an overarching theme. So, some magazines might call an issue the garden issue, they might call it the barbecue issue if it's in the food niche, or the design issue, and so on. Next, you'll want to decide on how many pages. So, my first issue of Mini Magazine had about 50 pages, and that felt like a really good start for a brand new magazine. But don't be afraid to launch a smaller issue somewhere between 30 to 60 pages for your first issue. Remember that you can always increase the page count as you grow. Mini Magazine now averages over 100 pages per issue, and Tool Magazine, that I just launched in print, has over 144 pages. You'll also want to plan out your features, your interviews, any submissions you're gathering, and other interior content for the magazine. Again, that goes back to the book or the spreadsheet like I use now. Write it out, stay organized, and keep on top of your planning. A good rule of thumb to remember is that momentum matters more than perfection, especially when you're first starting out. What my magazine looked like when I first started and what it looks like now is night and day. Your issues will get better with time, the content will improve, the design will improve. It gets easier every issue, so don't let yourself get hung up on perfection with the very first one. Momentum is the key to actually getting your magazine across the finish line and actually launched in 2026. Moving on to step 4, which is designing your magazine. And I can't say this clearly enough, you do not need to be a designer to start a magazine. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when deciding if they should start a magazine is getting hung up on the design element. Now, don't get me wrong, design is super important to a magazine, maybe one of the most important parts of a magazine, but you do not need to be a designer to start one. I've had students hire designers on websites like Fiverr or Upwork, or hire local graphic designers in their area. I've also had students follow my tutorials inside the Editor Academy and put together their entire magazines by themselves. It's entirely doable, whichever way you want to tackle it. So, when it comes to the tools that you will need to start a magazine in 2026, you will use one of two softwares, Adobe InDesign or Canva. Now, Adobe InDesign is always going to be my top pick because it's what the major magazine publishers use, and it just offers better quality, especially if you're planning to take your magazine into print. However, Canva can also do the job, and it might be better suited for you if you're a beginner designer and you don't want to take the time to learn how to use Adobe InDesign, which does have a little bit of a learning curve, especially if you're not familiar with other Adobe programs like Photoshop or Illustrator. Now, I teach how to design magazines in both Adobe InDesign and Canva inside the Editor Academy with tutorials on how to put together things like covers, features, interior spreads, and collages. You can also make it really easy on yourself and download magazine design templates, which I offer as well. The goal for your magazine design wise is to produce an issue that looks clean, readable, and professional looking, but it does not need to be super complicated. So, the fifth step is to publish and share your magazine. Remember that your magazine is not going to grow if it just sits on your computer. Your magazine is also not going to grow if you just hit publish and do nothing else to promote the issue. You will need to decide on your launch strategy, including what day of the week you will launch your magazine, and there are days that work better than others. If you haven't seen my video with my student Jason, who runs Barber's Illustrated magazine, you'll see how he followed my strategy for launching, which was completely different than what he was doing before, and it totally changed the game. You'll need to decide, are you going to launch via your website, via email, via social media? How are you going to expand your reach to those who might not be following you yet? It's okay to let the magazine be imperfect, especially for this first issue, but you do need to take the steps to increase your visibility. So, part of your 2026 plan needs to be how you will attract readers. I share inside the Editor Academy how I get tens of thousands of readers to my website every single month, which not only drives up our subscriber count and our issue views, but drives advertising revenue as well. Keep in mind that above social media followers, above design, visibility will beat perfection every time for a new magazine. Okay, so now we've arrived at the sixth and final step, which is turning your magazine into a real business. Now, this is what most YouTube videos don't talk about, which is how do you actually make money when starting a magazine? You have tons of opportunities when it comes to monetizing your magazine, so let's get into them. The first and probably the most obvious way to make money with your magazine is with ads. Now, I've spoken on this in the past, and maybe it's a bit controversial, but one of the ways where a magazine excels over a blog is that a magazine is able to sell ads on its website, on its social media, inside the content or as content, and also inside the issues themselves. You can sell half page ads, full page ads, sponsored social media content, sponsored website content, and you can make money on the ads placed on your website. When it comes to ads, magazines have many, many opportunities to monetize, and this is something that I go over in detail inside the Editor Academy. I even go so far as to give you the scripts that you can use when you're pitching advertisers. Again, I'm going to point you to my video with my student Jason, who used my exact scripts to land advertisers inside his magazine. So go back and give that one a listen if you want to hear more about his story. Another, probably more obvious way to make money with your magazine is to sell subscriptions. Now, you can do this with both digital and print magazines. So you can sell a digital only subscription, which would likely be the least expensive, or you can sell a print only subscription, which would be a little more expensive, or you can sell a hybrid digital and print subscription. So these can be sold on Shopify, on Stripe, or even on your publishing platform, depending on who you use. I know that the more premium plans on Issue allow you to sell subscriptions right from their platform. If you're going to go with a print on demand service like lulu.com for your print magazines, you are able to set a price and sell your issues directly from their platform. Now, landing advertisers and even website ads will take time. So I always recommend you work on building up your traffic, building up your content and your audience so that you have something to show to these advertisers when you reach out to them. But know that it is entirely possible to do this as a new magazine, and I know because I've done it. This is where most people get stuck or feel defeated, but this is exactly what I teach step by step inside the Editor Academy, from planning to design to launching to monetization. So if you're serious about starting a magazine in 2026 and you want a proven roadmap, templates, guides, scripts, and a community of other aspiring editors in chief, I will leave a link to the Editor Academy in the description box below. Starting a magazine changed my entire life, and it's still one of the most creative and powerful businesses that you can start, and I am here to help you do just that. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos on my channel just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.